Anyway, while I had a second, I just wanted to do a quick review of that steering wheel, the custom steering wheel from Jalisco's Carbon Fiber, at Jalisco's Carbon Fiber on Instagram. Always giving out good deals. Every once in a while you come across a special discount that he'll give to subscribers of mine and followers of mine on Instagram as well. So be on the lookout for stuff. I'll post anything that he shares with me for all of you guys. If you're interested in these custom steering wheels, whether they're carbon fiber or the gloss black like I got, shift knobs, mirror caps, all that kind of stuff. He does a bunch of different carbon fiber things. So like I said, stay on the lookout, but here we go. I'll give you a quick overview of the steering wheel and some of my thoughts because my opinions have changed a bit. So we got the outside of the car detailed and we've done a little cleaning up on the inside as well. She's looking good, but what I really wanted to focus on was this guy right here. So, as I said, what I really wanted to do was get out in the mountains and get some good, hard, spirited driving under my belt so I could really talk about the steering wheel and the pros and cons of it. Unfortunately, this coronavirus, COVID-19 nonsense has kind of put a damper on doing some driving outside of the state. And where the mountains are that I like to go is North Carolina. So we've been limited to the Greenville area here in South Carolina, but nonetheless, I've gotten a couple of months of driving in with the steering wheel, and I've developed some perspective, some ideas, some thoughts, some opinions that I'd like to share with you all before you make a purchase for a custom steering wheel yourself. I'll go ahead and start with some of the positives first. You all know that the steering wheel is super nice looking, at least in my opinion. I've said it before, I'm not a super big fan of carbon fiber, so when I saw that there was an opportunity to get a gloss black steering wheel, I jumped all over it. This is really my style. Like I said, not a fan of carbon fiber, but a little touch of it here at the bottom as an accent piece is just fine with me. Overall, the steering wheel is really nice looking, and that goes for the carbon fiber wheels as well. So not only are there options in terms of gloss black or standard carbon fiber pattern, there's some other options to choose from as well. So go check those out, Jalisco's_carbon fiber on Instagram. You'll get a look and see exactly what he offers. There's other options available for leather as well. I'm sure you've all seen on Instagram or Facebook the different colors of leather. Some have done orange, the white with the black looks super badass. You can get the smooth leather or perforated leather like I have here. There's an option for the thumb inserts, which is kind of a nice addition. So just the overall look of the wheel is super nice. It's really nice to retain the factory airbag as well. You don't want to sacrifice safety, so knowing that the airbag is still there and functional is nice because the steering wheel uses an original OE wheel frame. I'll say the core is there, it's the same as the factory, so you're also able to retain the steering wheel controls here as well. The contours of the wheel are super nice. Flat bottom obviously is a nice addition. He does have some flat bottom and flat top steering wheels available as well, so you get that kind of sporty look. It helps to clear the knees when you're, in your cockpit nice and tight, ready for carving the corners. The flat bottom steering wheel, again, clears the knees, and that's nice. The additional contours here, the flat space with a little bit of an extra bulge here. It gives you some extra grip in the corners, again, with the contours here. And what I really noticed the difference in was the overall diameter here of the steering wheel. I've mentioned it before that the steering wheel, the factory steering wheel, you'll know, is just not this substantial. It's not quite as robust. So when you're in the mountains, say, or you're at an autocross event where you're getting a lot of seat time, for me, for example, I did a run in the mountains with the Highlands Motoring Group, 175 miles. It took all day, and it was pretty aggressive driving, following Porsches and Ferraris and Corvettes. So you just tend to get a lot of hand, wrist, and forearm fatigue when you're squeezing that small diameter steering wheel. This steering wheel, it reminds me a little bit of more of a Corvette or like an M3, where it gets to be nice and thick here. It allows your hand to open up a little bit, and it prevents you really from squeezing tight, so it's going to prevent that fatigue. Just in everyday driving situations that I've been driving this car in lately, I don't get that much. I do like how comfortable it is in normal driving situations. Nice grip here, easy access to the paddle shifters. If you just want to relax on the flat bottom, it's nice for that as well. But I can definitely tell it will be much better, much more comfortable in mountain run settings or autocross scenarios, track days, things of that nature, having this nice robust steering wheel. Installation is super easy as well, especially if you take a look at my installation video here on YouTube. It should take you 30 minutes or less with the right tools, quite honestly, and that's a massive change for just a little bit of effort. Now, it can't all be positive. Of course, I got to have an opinion one way or another. Overall, really like the shape, like I said. The steering wheels coming from Jalisco's _carbon fiber on Instagram are super nice. Quality is great. No complaints whatsoever. And really no serious complaints. But what I do want to point out is some things that I've noticed that maybe I wish were slightly different. Since we are talking about overall shape and size, I would say, generally when you get an aftermarket steering wheel or a racing style steering wheel, the overall diameter tends to be a little bit smaller. This, again, is built on the OE steering wheel core, so you don't gain or lose any overall diameter. It's the same size. So like I said, I guess I could see liking a smaller diameter steering wheel overall, but it's not a major complaint. It just, it is what it is. Now, since we are talking about the flat bottom steering wheel clearing the knees, in driving situations, that's a benefit when you're racing. But if you're like me, there are times when you need to use your knee to steer the steering wheel. This shape hinders that a bit, but also the smooth finish of that wheel hinders that as well. It can be slippery, on your jeans. So it maybe is a little, not that steering with your knees is safe, but doing it with a flat, smooth bottom steering wheel becomes a little bit more dangerous even still. I will mention that about the smoothness of the steering wheel in general. If you have really dry hands per se, or you're wearing maybe kind of soft cottony gloves in the winter, this could be a little bit of a slippery surface. I've noticed, on cold mornings with the hands being dry, it can be slippery, and if you're trying to do a quick turn, your hand might slide on it. Now there are the finger kind of textures here, indents, so that helps with the grip, but it's not that big of a deal, but it is just something to pay attention to. Now, I know it's a really common question when it comes to these aftermarket custom steering wheels. Do you lose the heated steering wheel function? Yes, you do, unless you want to pay a bunch of money to have that feature added in. It's not necessary, in my opinion. I know people live in Canada or up north and it gets cold, blah, blah, blah. I spent the first 28 years of my life in Minnesota. Never once did I have a heated steering wheel. But do you know who does have a heated steering wheel? My mom. Honestly, to get something that looks this good, I'm willing to sacrifice some chilly fingers for 2 minutes in the car in a winter morning, knowing that the steering wheel heats up really quickly from the warmth of your hand, but also your heat vents are blowing hot air right on it. It heats up very, very fast. The opposite is true in the summer. Having the sun of South Carolina pour in the front windshield on this steering wheel, on this black steering wheel, it does get warm, but not super hot to the touch where like you're touching your seatbelt buckle or burns your fingers when you touch it. It doesn't get that hot, thankfully. But I've also noticed that it cools down really quickly as well. When you have the AC on or the window open, or even just your hand absorbing some of that heat from the steering wheel, it cools down really quickly. So don't worry about it getting too hot in the summer, and don't be a whiner. It's not too cold for the winter. You can handle it. Come on, guys. So overall, I give the steering wheel a thumbs up. High quality, really good looking steering wheel with several different options available. Great customer service coming from Jalisco's _carbon fiber on Instagram. Check it out right now when you get a chance. I I don't think he has any deals going on, but there's been some repetitive discounts coming up kind of in cycles for followers or subscribers of this channel and followers on Instagram of Speed Culture Studios. So keep that in mind. If he informs me of any deals, I will be sure to pass that on to you guys too. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. Follow Jalisco's_carbon fiber on Instagram as well, if I haven't said that already. But get yourself one of these wheels. Discounts as good as $10, $15 off, which is a nice little discount on something like this. And, you know, if you're getting your stimulus check, this might be a nice car part to make the purchase on. So overall, great review for me. I'm pumped to get this thing in the mountains finally and really see how it does. But just kind of over the last couple of months, I have a pretty good feeling that I know what the results are going to be. Get yourself a steering wheel. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.